Hello, Shelby.
Howdy.
How you doing tonight?
I'm here, One more half day of school and I'm done.
Oh, lucky you. We get out on the 21st.
What? No, that's some
Yeah, I
BS.
know, right?
Nope. As your daughter's teacher, I'm like, no. No thanks.
Yeah, I don't know if it's because we've had a couple of days canceled for weather throughout
That
the year, and
that's
they're kind of
possible.
using using as like a catch up. I don't know. I feel like kids are getting out later and later for Christmas and summer breaks. Like when I was a kid, I feel like the end of May, maybe even the middle of May, you were starting to get out of school for summer, and then you'd go back in like August. And then now I feel like my kid gets out in like beginning of June and goes back in the beginning of August. And it's like, okay, where's our 3 month break?
I need a break.
Yeah. All right. So tonight I'd like to dive into the bowl games and we can go through and do our predictions and talk about any cool matchups or tidbits you want to throw in there. Let me see if I am smart enough to figure out how to get this on the screen.
I was say I know nothing, so I'm just kidding. Again, like I said on our last stream, what's the bowl game?
Let's see here.
It also is matched up with what's an offensive coordinator? Don't know what
Hey,
that is.
I thought you guys were getting um
Bobby?
yeah.
Thank God we're not. Don't need that shit show in college.
All right, let me this isn't playing nice with me, but we'll do it this way. Allow. Now everybody can see oh my god.
Now everybody can see that.
All right. So can you see my screen? Does it show the
Yes, but I can't see. It's very small. There you go. Wow.
technology at your fingertips?
I even moved my computer because I'm like, I'm
Yeah, I don't
also
know why. I think it's because I have a widescreen monitor, and so it like throws the display off.
I'm also blind, people. So that
Yeah, I feel you on that. I need to get new glasses.
I literally didn't wear glasses permanently until about sophomore year of college. And I thought that our basketball arena screen was just really crappy. And I was like, man, this school has so much money and they can't even buy a good basketball screen. And then I got glasses. And then the next day we went to a basketball game and I was like, guys. And they're like, yes, honey. Yes.
See, I don't even watch hockey because I can never even see the puck,
Oh
and
no.
I'm always just so confused as to what's going on in hockey.
It's hockey season.
Yeah, I may have to get interested in it because football season has not been kind to me.
Hockey season's being kind to me. Basketball season,
Up and
the
down,
women put up like 38 points in one game. And I was like,
entirely dependent on Luca going beast mode.
Luca. I love me, Luca.
All right, so let's start off with the Bahamas Bowl. Um, I can't remember what game it was, but there was a Bahamas Bowl a few years ago that was one of the craziest games I've ever. I'll have to look it up after we get done. But it used to be sponsored by Popeyes, and it was always so funny seeing the Popeyes logo and everything at the bowl game because there'd be like 15 people in the stands,
Yeah.
and it was just a basically a 3 hour long advertisement for Popeyes. All right, so Miami of Ohio versus UAB. Who you got?
I know nothing about either of those
I
teams.
will be honest with you, I don't know anything about most of the teams we're gonna go over. One
I
metric
thought we
I've
were just
always
going over the SEC teams.
we can do
So
that.
there's that
Um, let's see.
because I don't know anything about most other teams. Let's be honest here.
All right, so we'll skip ahead. So I'll go through with my personal predictions if you want to throw something in there. I will use the basis of which mascot would win.
Yes,
Um,
I love this.
so we have the Red Hawks versus the Blazers. I would have to go Blazers because they are
But
a mythical fire-breathing dragon.
because it's a fucking dragon. Like,
Yeah,
sorry, it's a
so
family show. My bad.
go UAB there. Is it a family show? I was not aware.
Oh, okay. I can say fuck. Awesome.
I mean, it's your show. I haven't shied away from it, but
It's my
you
show. I didn't know I owned this shit.
know, we're co-host. All right, so the Troy Trojans versus UTSA Roadrunners. I think
Nothing kills a roadrunner. That thing
really,
forever. Have you
I've
never
never
seen
seen a
Wile E.
Roadrunner.
Coyote in the Roadrunner?
Well, yeah, but
That shit never dies.
hmm. But what about Achilles?
I don't think it has one.
But I'm talking about the Trojans.
Oh, I was thinking like Achilles heel. Okay.
Could a Roadrunner peck or okay? So I'm going Roadrunners here off of the Looney Tunes logic, in that the Roadrunner would devise some mechanism to shoot directly into Achilles heel, and the Trojans would lose. So UTSA Roadrunners there in the Cure Bowl.
Is this the same Troy team that beat LSU at homecoming a couple years ago? Is that different?
Yes, same
Awesome.
team.
Love that.
All right. So also, I thought Troy's coach left or something. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm thinking of speculation. But what are they curing? The Cure Bowl's been around for a long time. What's it? What is the cure?
I'm looking it up now. Let's see. The Cure Bowl. The Cure Bowl, blah, 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 held at Camping World Stadium. Here's their website. About. It says it's more than a game. Now I want to know. The Cure Bowl is more than a game. It's a celebration of those who are living with cancer today and those who will face it tomorrow. There you go.
Gotcha. All right. Well, that's a good thing to cure. Um,
Cancer.
now we know. All right. All right. So the Fenway Bowl. A lot easier to determine what this is about.
You're good. It is played in Boston. I was about to say.
Cincinnati versus Louisville. Bearcats. Are Bearcats real? I thought that they were mythical things or extinct things. I don't know. Either way, Cardinals are not scary at all. Blue Jays are more intimidating than Cardinals. And so I'm going Bearcats here.
If you type in Bearcats, the first thing that comes up is Cincinnati. So I don't think a Bearcat is real.
Well, I like the idea of them. I would have a Bearcat. It's a nice combo of two animals that I'd like to have as a pet.
Okay, here we go. Here we go. The Bearcat is agile like a cat in the canopy and less adept on the ground, walking flat-footed like a bear. However, it is neither a bear nor a cat, but belongs to the mongoose family.
So it's a real thing.
Yes.
If it belongs to the mongoose family, it 110% could absolutely wipe out a cardinal population.
Oh, it's
Um,
cute. Dude, you got to look this shit up. It's on the Cincinnati Zoo website.
all right, let's see here.
There's
Full
even
screen
videos
mode.
of it. The thing is cute.
Yeah, I don't know if I would go so far to say it's cute, but I mean,
Okay,
my
the
wife
one
and
on the
daughter probably
Cincinnati
would.
website is cute. Yeah, see that thing's cute?
It's all right.
Wow.
See, this is a red panda, though, right? Is this a bearcat?
No, it's a red panda.
Misinformation at work right here. See, red pandas were cute. This thing,
That it's got whiskers.
Yeah,
And
but it kind
like
of has like crazy eyes.
the guy like peeking out at the bottom, that was kind of creepy. Not gonna lie.
I don't trust its eyes. That's really a big thing for me. These eyes, it looks like something that would lure you in by looking cute and then bite you and give you some like really gnarly infection or something.
Oh, it probably will, but it's still cute. Most women are like that, and y'all like us anyway.
Yeah, I mean that's true, but it's the eyes. It's all that's why you always got to look at the eyes.
Anyway,
Um anyways, back to business. Um
you have to zoom in again.
yeah, I'm trying to figure out what NC
Mascot is
Central mascot. They're the eagle and are they the Panthers or the Tigers?
Jackson State.
Yeah.
It used to be the Fighting Deion Sanders.
Wavy Dave.
I'm sorry, what?
Okay, they're the Tigers. All right, yeah. It's very Clemson crazy tiger looking thing here. So Tiger versus Eagle. I would have to go Tiger, but
Definitely.
I do think a big eagle could take out a baby tiger.
Oh, not the baby.
Yeah, a small tiger of some sort.
Oh, you're not gonna like my pick on this one. No, just kidding. Trust
Yeah,
you,
I mean,
bro. You.
even using my own metric, I would obviously still pick my team here. Um, I honestly, I I don't even care about this game at all. I just want this season to be over with and go on to next season.
What is Oregon State's mascot?
The
Beavers.
Beavers.
I knew the answer to that question the second it came out of my mouth. You don't
Yeah,
think a
so
beaver could take out a gator?
yeah, I don't. I'm pretty sure beavers are like natural prey for gators. So I would have to give this one a definitive edge to the good guys here.
Have you
Um,
seen the video of Snoop Dogg watching mongooses attack a gator?
I have not.
You have to. It's like it's him narrating an Animal Planet video, and this gator. There's like these. I guess he says they're mongooses. I don't know what they actually are, but they're just chilling. And then this gator comes up to attack him, and he's like, "Oh shit! Here come the gators!" And then the mongoose like come together and like push the gator off, and he's like, "These fucking mongooses!" You have to look it up.
I'll have to watch it when we get done.
It's
I
beautiful.
I saw one like animal documentary one time, and it was like I want to say it was a lioness, but she was like by herself, and I think she had like two or three cubs, and so when they have their cubs, they like hide them away from the main lion because if he might eat them or whatever. And so she had them like in her little hidey hole or whatever, and she was trying to find food, and there was like a giraffe, or I'm pretty sure it was a giraffe, and she tried to basically take it down by herself. And usually there's like three or four lionesses, and they like kind of coordinate and attack at the same time. So she was just like dangling on to this giraffe's ass like this, just like claws in, and the giraffe is just like completely unfazed by it, just like
Okay.
yeah, it's like you're not even one of you's not even close enough to bringing me down. And when we were talking about giraffes the other day in the group chat, that was what I was thinking of, was like the 4 or 5 thousand pound animals like trying to be attacked by a solo predator, and they're just always like, yeah, you're gonna need more than that. Like you should have brought a bigger boat. The one lioness is not gonna do the trick. So I will take the gators, surprisingly. Gators over beavers all day long. That's an easy decision. Chomp chomp. Um, are you gonna pick against me just for the hell of it?
Speaking of lie, I had to find this on Twitter because I have to read this to you. It cracks me up every time I see it. It says, fun fact, lions aren't very good climbers, but they can jump 36 feet. And someone said, no, they can leap 36 feet, as in leap forward. They don't jump 36 feet into the fucking sky. You know how terrifying that would be to the human
That
race?
would be terrifying.
The human race wouldn't have survived. We'd have all have heart attacks while still in Africa.
Jesus. Can you imagine like being on the fourth story of something and then a 300-pound lion just jumps up to you?
Like, it's fine. This is fine. Don't worry about it. Lions can jump 36 feet in the air. Like, no. Okay, I'm
Do
done.
you ever let your cats outside?
No.
Have you ever seen the anti-predatory collars they make for cats?
Oh, Lord. Well, okay.
S-
Here's my cat story. One of my cats will go out the door. He will sit on the doorstep and stare at me like I made it outside. Now what? The other one came from outside. She broke into our house and she has no interest in going back out there. She's like, fuck no. I've been there, done that. I'm staying right here where it's warm and I have food.
Smart.
And I'm like, yep, I feel you. And like I said, the other one just will walk outside, sit at the doorstep, and be like, I made it. Now what? What do I do
So,
now?
so cats are one of the best predators in nature, definitely of the domesticated animals. They're the most successful. And so in a lot of areas, like I think the number is like 2.5 billion birds get killed by domesticated cats every year.
Yeah, well,
And so cats, especially if you let them outside, um, they make these collars that you can put on them, and they're like multicolored, ruffled collars that you put on the cat, kind of like a cone of shame almost. And it makes it to where the birds can see the cats coming. The cats can't hide and like sneak up on them and stuff. And it looks like a Victorian era queen. Yeah.
Taz would hate me.
So speaking of cats, we have Washington State versus Fresno State. Um, I,
Don't care. No, just kidding.
yeah, for sure don't care. Also, Cougar beats Bulldog. So we're going Washington State here, I guess.
Yep. All Rice. Rice last the only thing I know about Rice is the last time we played them, they brought their band and they tried to make jokes about TU. And like during their band show, and we're all like, are we supposed to laugh? Or like, I'm not sure what's funnier, your lack of funny jokes or the fact that your band is like 10 people.
Well, they tried their best.
They tried.
So this one's interesting. I don't know why I've decided to make this an ecological show, but here we are. Um, the Rice Owls versus the Southern Mississippi Eagles, Golden Eagles.
Golden
I'm
Eagle?
not sure, but that's an interesting matchup, I think. Um, off the jump, my brain tells me that an eagle would beat an owl, but
Well, an owl is so wise, it would know what to do.
exactly, they can turn their head around to see the eagle coming from every direction. And some owls are pretty big. I mean, they may not be as big as eagles, but
The only thing,
that's a
every time I think of an owl, I think of the one from Pooh Bear
same.
and how like smart alecky he is.
Did you ever read the book Hoot?
Mm-mm.
Uh, it's like a young, teen kid book, I guess. But it's set in Florida, so it would make sense that it's probably not as popular everywhere else. But it basically revolves around this kid trying to stop like a construction site because there's like an endangered species of owl, like burrowing owl in the ground or something. And yeah. Um so those are the two connections I have to owls, that book and Winnie the Pooh. Um I'm gonna go Southern Mississippi here. I think that I think the Eagle wins. Also Rice is just like I hate their name. I'm not a fan of their mascot. They're a private school. I don't like that. Um,
Rats.
Rice, like, come on, really? Um, you could have named your school. So many other things in that. So yeah, I'm going Southern Mississippi.
SMU and BYU. That's what we call it down here, SMU.
So the Mustangs versus the Cougars. See, this is another good one.
I feel like as the child that grew up Mormon, I should root for BYU.
See, I feel like the fact that you say grew up Mormon and
Yeah.
not
Well,
the person that is Mormon,
yeah.
that would probably make me not root for BYU. But it's not like SMU has, you know, they got the death penalty and also two two private Christian schools.
All I know, last time, every time I think of word Mormon, now I think of Kate after y'all beat Utah. And she said, screw the Mormons. And I was like, that's BYU. She goes, close enough.
Yeah, there are a bunch of Utah people who are just like, we're not even Mormon. And it's like, yeah, but you live in Utah. It's if everybody in Florida is Florida man and a meth head, everybody in Utah is Mormon. Like these are just we can't start changing things up now. These are facts.
These are not, this is not fiction. Or, of course, now as I teach my students, if you can argue with it, it's an opinion.
That's true. That's a good point. Although you should teach them that many people will still try.
I've taught, every time I say something, one of my kids will go, but can I argue with you? And I'm like, no, absolutely not. Like,
um,
absolutely.
did you know that ostriches can kick so powerfully that they can kill lions?
But
Because if a
after the
lion,
lion leaps 36 feet in the air.
yeah, after the lion leaps, then the ostrich can fly up, but they can kick so powerfully that they kill the lion because the lion will try to bite it, and if they connect on their kick, they can literally break the lion's jaw off, and
Oh,
then the lion will obviously starve to death. So, using this same logic, ostrich versus lion, I'm going to translate that into Mustang versus Cougar, and I think the Mustang wins that matchup because it connects one good kick onto a Cougar, and the Cougar is donezo.
all right.
I also went to college with a friend whose grandparents were constantly telling him, like, if you go to SMU, because they were like devout, like big time Methodists, like if you go to SMU, we will pay for your room, board, tuition, all that stuff. And he did not want to do that.
I met
Ended
a
up at
girl on
UF.
Twitter. I met a girl on Twitter who had cheer scholarships to TCU and South Carolina. And she said, I'm not holding a sign that says Go Cox. I don't care if you'll pay for my school. I don't care. I'm not doing it. And I was
You
like,
gotta have pride. You gotta at least keep your pride.
I was like, that's hilarious. It was like a half scholarship to TCU or a full scholarship at USC. And she's like, I'll do the half scholarship at TCU to not hold a sign that says Go Cox.
Yeah, I don't blame
I
her.
was like, wow. Okay.
At least you have Hypnotoad at TCU.
Oh God. Oh, TCU.
So now we have the Broncos versus the Mean Green of North
Hunt.
Texas.
Hunt. Yeah.
So, as the native Texan, do you know what the Mean Green is? I don't know what the hell it is.
Okay. I know their mascot is actually an eagle. Tell you that. This school is literally 30 minutes from me. So their mascot is actually an eagle. They have a great journalism program. I almost went there. Yeah.
North Texas Mean Green meaning.
Yeah, it's an eagle. See?
So it's the same thing as like the Crimson Tide.
No, that's someone's period. That's a woman's period, and you won't convince me otherwise.
Mm. I mean, they're the one that chose to name themselves that. So, I mean, I think it's open to interpretation. I feel like anytime you use some sort of dumb, subjective thing like this, you allow it to be open for interpretation. And because of that, I will say that North Texas is actually the mean green cleaner chemical.
Oh, which
That
is worse?
So that's what I'm going with.
I
And because of that, that is, I think that the Broncos of Boise State are smart enough to know not to drink it and just squash the bottle, perhaps stampede over it. And because of that, I'm going Boise State here.
I'm sorry, what? Who is dumb enough to drink it?
Kids,
Man, I thought you were
dogs, cats.
gonna
I'm
make
saying,
a joke.
gonna make
Volunteers.
yeah, I mean, that is a good point, but I try not to give off too many strays right here. I'm trying to stay on my game and keep my biological matchups intact here.
But
My
you said
brain's all
that
scrambled.
cats are dumb enough to drink it, right?
Cats, dogs, kids,
Horses.
horses, possibly. They're all possibly dumb enough to drink it. I think that your cat, my dog, they'd probably sniff it and be like, "Oh, what's that?" But not all of them. Some of them might try and drink it. So I think horses are smarter than cats and dogs, and so I think a horse would not
Arkansas drank it a couple years ago. That's true.
do what?
Somebody said Arkansas drank
Oh,
it a couple years ago.
oh, we got comments. I haven't been paying attention to the comments. I have my other screen open.
Oh God, that
Shelby, you're on comment duty.
I know I'm reading them. I just don't. How do I make them appear? Oh, I figured it out.
Yeah, there's
I have power now. More comments. Come, please. I like this power. Anyway,
So I'm going Boise State there. I think horses can withstand the temptation of the neon green cleaning supplies, and they get the dub. So now we go to the Myrtle Beach Bowl.
Marshall and
So
Yukon.
we got the Thundering Herd versus the Huskies. That's pretty easy to me. I think that let me mute this.
Mitch says he's a mean green.
Like the
He goes
Eagle?
to
Or
UNT.
really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. He said,
Well, the
I'm a
team
current mean green student. We have an eagle. It's Mitch. I'm a mean green.
gotcha.
So
Well,
now
your
I
team's
have to
gonna
pick
lose.
UNT because I'd bet on Mitch over the Broncos.
Damn. All right. Well, I'm sticking with my Broncos that they know not to drink the chemicals. So sorry, Mitch. Um, so this one's easy. Thundering Herd. Huskies don't stand a chance against a bunch of American buffalo or American bison, whatever you want to call them. And I'm sure Mikey will tell me how I'm wrong on it with the interesting animal fact of the day. But American bison, I think, is what you're supposed to call them if they're in America. So yeah, Thundering Herd, easy dub over the Huskies.
Mitch said he picked the Broncos.
Oh, there you go. He doesn't even pick for his own team. So the Eagles versus the Spartans.
The only thing I know about San Jose State is that Nick Starkel started there a couple years ago after playing musical school.
I saw that because when Tate Martell officially retired or quit or whatever his deal was, I looked up Nick Starkel and saw where he had kind of bounced around and ended up at San Jose State before going to the NFL.
Yeah, they were going to play against each other, and then Tate's a little bitch. So that once and for all says Tate is ass, my dude.
Tate is ass, my dude. Truer words never been spoken. Eagle versus Spartan. Who see? Because back in the day, they used to train eagles to attack people and hunt and all this stuff. So if we're talking about like some Mongolian golden eagles, I would probably give them an advantage one-on-one over a Spartan, but I don't think we're talking about that. So I have to go with the San Jose State Spartans here. I think that a spear, an arrow, I've seen 300, so I kind of am an expert in warfare. And I think that the Spartans would pull that one out. Also, I hate Eastern Michigan's the uniforms, logo, design. They have probably the worst uniforms in FBS to me.
A Spartan's true strength is the man beside him. That is the comment of the day.
Well, are eagles solitary animals? I feel like eagles are more solitary animals. So football is a team sport, therefore Spartans win by 2 touchdowns. It's all
Okay.
coming together.
All right, whatever floats your boat. Or your goat is what my mom used to tell me when I was little. Whatever floats your goat. And then I found her a meme of a goat in a inner tube, and it says whatever floats your goat.
Now this one's interesting
I saw a
because
solitary bald eagle on Saturday. That's what Mitch said. We're getting all
nice.
Mitch's comments.
Hey, keep them coming. Um, so this one's interesting to me because if
For football reasons or for mascot reasons?
just for mascot reasons, I have completely thrown football reasons out the window. This is a completely objective, unbiased look at the most important criteria for determining the winner of a football game, and that is the quality of their mascots. Um, I'm a big believer in marketing. I think that the title of your book, movie, show, TV, whatever, is arguably the second most important thing of it. Um, so I think that a team's mascot and logo is right below everything else when it comes to importance for a football team. Um,
Mitch
but this
says
one,
he is standing in his kitchen eating Ben and Jerry's and watching us, which sounds like a wonderful way to spend an evening.
it really does. I'm glad that we can entertain him for his little late night snack after the kids go to bed. So we got the Flame versus is Toledo the Golden Rockets? Toledo mascot, the Rockets, Rocky the Rocket or something. Yeah, the Rockets. Okay, so this is interesting to me because without flames, a rocket is kind of meaningless, right? You have to have some kind of combustion, some kind of fuel to make the
Are you
rocket go.
telling me the flames are going to get in their own way by setting the rocket on fire?
That's where my mind is. Like if this is think about it as the time that somebody proposed nuking a hurricane, right? Like imagine you have a big fire and you can't get it out. So instead of putting water on it, you just drop a rocket in there and just make it blow up and burn itself out faster. Um,
Well,
it-
see, you're thinking the opposite of me because I'm thinking that Liberty gets in its own way because they're too busy like starting a fire, and that fire therefore sets the rocket off, and the rocket gets going, therefore they win.
See, logically speaking, that makes a lot more sense than what I said. What I said really was kind of just gibberish. So we're going with that. Um, yeah, that was a much better line of thinking than what I was throwing out there.
We're
Um,
science teacher, man. Here we go.
yeah. So Toledo, the Rockets beat the Flame. This one, there's a lot of variables to it because you can't have a rocket without a flame, but once the flame hits the rocket, the rocket just steals the show. So yeah, I'm with you. We're going Rockets here. Also, I'm sure Hugh Freeze left Liberty in a complete mess, so they'll probably just get waxed in Boca Raton.
South Alabama and Western Kentucky.
You know,
I know
because we have a
you
time
throw it.
constraint, I'm gonna go South Alabama here. if we had a 300 million year game of football, Western Kentucky would beat everybody just by attrition. But also, I think we talked about this, they're the Hilltoppers. So really their mascot is just the people on top of the hill where Western Kentucky is. And in that case, a Jaguar could probably do some work on
People on a hill.
a bunch of Kentucky hillbillies. So gonna have to go with South Alabama there. Plus, I know somebody who's married to somebody on their coaching staff. Kind of a big deal, no big deal, but kind of a big deal.
I know someone who knows someone who knows someone.
Exactly.
Oh, here we go. No, I'm not gonna make that comment. I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna be nice to Baylor today. I was gonna make a rapist comment, but I'll be nice.
Oof, coming out swing, just man, not
I
pulling
can't
any punches.
stand. Oh, I have opinions on Baylor.
Yeah,
Whoo! I have opinions.
I'm with you. I'm with you on that one.
Like I said, like I've always said, it used to be on a scale of 1 to Baylor, how Christian are you at baseball games? And now it's on a scale of Baylor to 10, how Christian are you?
Ouch. Oh, that's a good one.
Like just it's our question to most Christian schools that come to town in baseball. Like so on a scale of Baylor to 10, how like it should be like Baylor to TCU. Like where do
I thought TCU moved away from being a Christian school.
They're more Christian than Baylor?
Really?
I think.
You would know better than I would. I thought that like they
And I know
tried to rebrand themselves as like TCU instead of Texas Christian, kind of like a KFC situation, where KFC has rebranded themselves as KFC instead of Kentucky Fried Chicken. I thought that's what TCU
I think
did.
that is what they're trying to do, but I still think they, while in the process of trying to do that, are still more Christian than Baylor.
Is TCU public or private?
Private, I think. Let me look. Is TCU? Yes, they're private.
Okay. All right. Well,
and they're playing. Oh, never mind. I was like, they're playing. Oh, they're playing this game in Fort Worth. What a concept!
So normally, I'm going to break with my reasoning a little bit right here. So this would be Bear versus Falcons, but I also think that the Falcon just represents the embodiment of the Air Force, and therefore it would be the might of the United States Air Force versus a bunch of bears. And in that scenario, I think that I would have to pick the might of the United States Air Force.
Yeah.
Something tells me even the sturdiest of black bears does not stand up to a F-35 too well. But also that means I don't have to pick Baylor. So I weaseled my way out of that. So we're going Air Force there.
Ooh, Houston.
Houston
is the armpit of Texas.
And they're in a bowl. Who decided to build the third biggest city in America in the middle of a bowl? And then when it floods, everybody's just like surprised Pikachu face that the bowl city has terrible flooding. Yeah. So I just assume a raging Cajun is an angry person from Louisiana. So I'm gonna go Cougar here.
I'm gonna go angry person from Louisiana.
Now, do they have weapons? Because I didn't think about the fact that they almost certainly do have. You know what?
Yeah.
If this is an angry Cajun with a vendetta against Cougars to where they have traps set up, they've already gotten their seasoning picked out for when they're going to fry it up later. Yeah, I guess damn, Shelby, you keep making me question myself, and I have to switch to the Cajuns too. I didn't think about all the extra things that go into being not just a Louisianan but a Cajun, and off of that alone, I think I would take them over a Cougar.
Every time I think Raging Cajun, I picture Ed Orgeron. Like that's just who I picture.
Yeah, perfect embodiment of it.
I would totally pick the fighting Ed Orgeron's over.
Oh, that'd be terrifying. All right, so we got the Demon Deacons versus the Tigers.
The only thing I know about Wake Forest, the only thing I know is that we played them in baseball my junior year in the NCAA tournament. And there is no run rule in the NCAA tournament unless previously agreed upon at the beginning of the game. And we were up by like 25 in a baseball game.
Oof.
And our players are just swinging in air. Like, I don't care. And they kept making contact by accident. And it would be a foul ball. And they're like, no, strike. I want to go home.
Damn, that's rough.
It was like 2 a.m. It was not a fun
time. What's a Demon Deacon? What is a Demon Deacon? It sounds like contradictory, right? Like a deacon is like a Christian person, but then they're demon.
Yes.
I'm going Cougar here, or Tiger. I mean, it looks like it's just a youth pastor on a motorcycle.
That's exactly what it is. Did you question anything else? Did you ask anything different? Do you honestly think anything different?
I thought that it would be like the Sun Devils. Like what is a Sun Devil?
So who knows what a Sun Devil is?
Mike Leach, RMP. He didn't. So here we have the Blue Raiders versus
the Blue Raiders.
Yeah, the Middle Tennessee State University Blue Raiders.
Okay, so is that like a knockoff Red Raider? It's the Walmart Red Raider.
I don't. Maybe. Is this like some kind of Confederacy thing? This looks like it might be a.
Oh, we're asking Wikipedia. That's what's sort of that's
So hold on. So they were called the Normalites, the Teachers, and the Pedagogues.
The Teachers. Hey, that could be scary. As one myself, that could be scary.
Huh. Oh, okay. I see. I see why they changed their name now. Their original mascot was Nathan Bedford Forrest, a Confederate general and early leader in the Ku Klux Klan.
Oh, lovely. That checks out.
All right. So, because of that fact alone, I am going with the Aztecs of San Diego State. Yeah.
Ooh, Bowling Green. That sounds like you combine two sports and put them together and was like, this sounds fun.
It's like hockey it's like bowling on a golf course or something.
Yep.
I'm going New Mexico State here just for, number one, they're the Aggies too, so they would probably be able to beat a Falcon, but also this is their first bowl game in like 30 years or something crazy. So going for New Mexico State here.
Oh, I'm pretty sure every other Aggie team that is an Aggie made a bowl game except for us. So there's that.
Maybe when the playoffs get started, everybody that's an Aggie can make it to the playoffs, and then we can just have one big like Aggie battle royale to see who the true Aggie is.
Oh, that sounds fun.
That does sound fun. Getting to play what Utah State and New Mexico State. All right, so we got the Buffalo Buffaloes and Georgia Southern. I think it's an eagle or a falcon or some kind of bird.
Golden eagle, I think. I'm gonna look it up. I got you.
I'm gonna have to
spell today. Georgia Southern Eagles.
So I'm going Buffalo just because I don't think there's really too many things that can really take a Buffalo down one-on-one.
I just love the Buffaloes.
Yeah, the Buffalo.
It's pretty self-explanatory there. The
Memphis.
And the other Aggies.
So yeah, I'm gonna go Memphis. The Tigers here. Yeah, Tigers are another one that I don't think very many things could take on 1v1.
Aggies. Duh. Gigs them.
Mm,
Oh, there it is. There it is. Gigs them.
I don't know. I think a tiger can take a couple shots, could get stabbed, and probably still kill somebody.
Oh, now see, now I have to tell you the story. Now I have to tell you the story. So, the at A&M, each class, freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, has a wildcat or a like a yell that they do at the end of each yell. And the story is that there was an actual wildcat, like a physical wildcat, and a freshman, a sophomore, a junior, and a senior went out to hunt said wildcat. And the freshmen put their hands up and ran away screaming, "Hey!" So that's their wildcat. The sophomore took 5 shots and missed all 5 times. So it's A. The junior shot 3 times and made it on the 3rd time, so they finally get to whoop. So it's A, woo. And then the senior shot once and made it, so it's A, woo. So there you go. That's my story about how an Aggie can beat a Wildcat. So therefore, I'm going to apply that same logic to the Aggie beating the Tiger. So there's that.
It's very cult-like behavior there.
Oh yeah, I accept that. You know I accept that.
I don't even know what to say about that one. I'm just glad. I'm glad that a representative from each class decided to go and take on this wildcat to make your chant 80 years later work
For the
out.
good of the people.
Yeah. All right. So the Chanticleers versus the Pirates. As far as I know, Chanticleers are just big chickens.
I'm gonna look it up.
Um,
Coastal Carolina.
I don't know what the obsession with Carolina schools and roosters is. I like their mascot and their logo, but in honor of Mike Leach, my aunt lives in Greenville, North Carolina, so I got to go East Carolina.
A proud and fierce rooster. He's a rooster. The Chanticleer.
Sounds like chicken nuggets to me.
I'm just saying he's a rooster. Oklahoma State, can't stand them. And Wisconsin. I'm going Wisconsin because I don't like Oklahoma State.
I think a Badger could take on a Cowboy. I think Cowboys are overrated as a mascot, as a motif, as a trope. I think that the rugged cowboy in 2022, doesn't move the needle for me. I think a Badger could whoop a Cowboy's ass, especially if he didn't have any guns.
Here because the Cowboys are playing the Jacksonville Jaguars this weekend.
That's us.
The playoffs. So, and she's a huge Jacksonville fan. So
I'm not a huge Jacksonville fan, but that's my team too.
So yeah, y'all going down.
Probably.
Oh yeah, y'all ain't good. So.
Well, hey, T-Law's been rolling. All right, so Duke versus UCF. Similar.
Duke's mascot. I just went blank.
They're the Blue Devils.
That's right.
Similar to the Demon Deacon and the Sun Devil and any other kind of supernatural thing, I think it's open to interpretation. And so for me, when I think of Blue Devil, I imagine like the Satan from South Park, but he got like airplane toilet water all over him and stained himself blue. So because of that, I think that a Blue Devil could beat a Golden Knight, and that's my
Night.
assessment.
I googled USF mascot because I wanted to see his face because I think it's creepy. It's Nitro is his name.
Nitro.
Nitro. That I don't know. It's not spelled that way.
Yeah, that's they think they're clever.
And Pegasus.
Yeah, and
Pegasus
they
and
got
the UCF Knight.
all right. So here, you know, aside from the name, Arkansas versus Kansas, I don't know why. I just love the fact that they matched these two teams up together. Um, I
Or
would go
Kansas is your Kansas.
exactly. There you go. I would go Razorback. I think Razorbacks could fuck up pretty much everything on this list. They're nasty, mean little
Rock
critters.
Chalk Jayhawk. No, just kidding. I just wanted to say it.
Is it? But a Jayhawk's not a real thing, right?
Is it?
They're like their mascot's like a bird, but I thought that they okay, it's not an actual bird. It's like an imaginary bird.
Jayhawk.
You're basically just being my fact checker tonight, just to make sure the bullshit that I'm spouting is not just completely made up.
Jayhawk. The only thing that comes up is Kansas.
Yeah, they're not real.
That makes me really sad. Rock Chalk Jayhawk. You know what is real? All the times they beat Texas. Twice. Twice,
It's
once in
pretty
Austin.
sad when Kansas has more wins over Texas than Texas A&M does this decade.
I was about to say, okay. Hold on. Hey, that's not my fault. It's okay. We'll rough them up in 2025. Let's go.
Can't wait for them to join the SEC. It's going to make things so much more interesting.
They ain't ready.
Probably not. So we
Oh,
got the Ducks versus the Tar Heels. I got to go North Carolina here with a big upset. Their mascots are Ram, which I think is pretty cool, but also they're just like people from North Carolina. And the duck is simultaneously like a cool but also a super lame mascot. Like even a goose would be more intimidating. Like
I killed a goose once when I was little.
really on
I I
purpose.
um I was like 3 or 4, and I saw the goose on the in the park. So I toddled. I stood up and ran over to it. Goose, 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 and I ran it into the road and it got hit by an SUV.
Yikes! I used to live at like in front of a pond, and the geese would get up in the morning and leave. The geese and ducks, but particularly the geese here, they would go across and like look for bugs and stuff in the grass and all that. And then they would go to waddle back to their pond, and we would be trying to leave for school in the morning or whatever, and there would just be like 3 or 4 geese that would just waddle their big asses into the road and then just stop. And then if you honked at them, they would just like come up and like hit the front of the car with their beaks and stuff.
Because
Dumb birds.
they're like,
They just
fuck,
don't
fuck
care.
with
Yeah,
me.
don't care.
Doesn't
So
Bad Bo usually show up in bowl games?
Um, I mean, if we're talking about quarterbacks, I would take bad Drake May over good Bo Nix. So I don't think it really matters. I think that
I didn't know who the North Carolina quarterback was. I just knew that.
yeah, he's really good. I think the Bo Nix magic has run its course, and I think college football is. I'm ready to move on from Bo Nix.
Is North Carolina? No, UNC is where Mac Brown is, right?
Yeah.
There you go.
So yeah, UNC, and I think Mac Brown retires and rides off into the sunset, and this is his swan song, if you will, to bring it all the way back around to the bird talk.
Oh,
Um, you see what I did there? You see what I did there? So Red Raiders versus
the
what?
Rebels. The Land
Rebels, the
Shark.
Black Bears, the Land Sharks,
I'm here for Land
whatever.
Shark. I'm going
Um,
Land Shark. Is that bad for Mike Leach? Sorry.
no, I mean,
Land Shark. because
Uh,
land shark.
I'm going Red Raider
Sharknado.
here. I think the Red Raiders got this.
Sharknado.
Um, yeah, those two are just kind of whatever to me. So we got Minnesota versus Syracuse.
The orange. And what is Minnesota's mascot? The Gophers.
The Gophers.
The Golden Gophers.
Hmm.
We
I got
got
to
the
go with
Golden Gophers and the orange.
the Gophers here. I don't really know
Which
what the
the other one's a
orange.
fruit.
Yeah, like I don't really see how the orange can really fight back
It
against
doesn't.
any
The
of
gopher
the.
picks up and goes like that.
Yeah, like gophers are generally peaceful critters, but if provoked for long enough by a particular shade of color, I imagine eventually they'd react. Um, so yeah, I got Minnesota there. Florida State versus Oklahoma. Well,
The land squatters.
do we need to even go over this? I mean, I think it's pretty obvious which one of these two groups of people won. Um, so I got Oklahoma.
Oh my god. You're fired. Get out.
Hey, I, just because
Just
I don't
to
agree. I don't agree with it. I wish it didn't happen, but it did happen. So we already have a precedent in place for me to base my assessment off of. If this were just two people fighting, it could go either way, kind of like the
well,
Texas
here's
Tech and
the
Ole
question.
Miss.
It only works if Oklahoma brings smallpox.
I mean, they got the full package.
Sorry. Oh my god. Okay.
It is kind of interesting though that they have the Seminoles going against the Sooners because that's where Andrew Jackson sent them to. So, oh yeah. Sorry, FSU. Really hate to see you guys lose again to the Land Squatters, but they
I
stay
gotta
undefeated.
I gotta go. Was it Washington? Mm,
Huskies.
yep, that's what was in my brain, but I felt like it was wrong. The Huskies and the Shorthorns. So we're gonna go with the Huskies because the Shorthorns don't have any horns anymore.
So, as I previously said, Buffalo, any kind of big 3,000 to 4,000 pound critter, one on one would win. But Washington's mascot is plural, so there's a pack of Huskies. And because of that, I think that a pack of Huskies could take down one Bevo.
Plus Bevo's lazy anyway.
But it's kind of interesting though, because UConn is playing Marshall, which is the Thundering Herd, and then they're the Huskies, and then Washington's the Huskies, and they're playing an
A one
individual herd of cattle.
a one Bevo.
A one Bevo, yeah. So yeah, Washington Huskies, Michael Penix. I don't, I'm always skeptical to say it Penix because my
You
12-year-old
know
brain is just like, haha.
you know how Bevo got his name?
It was the score, right?
It was 13-0. He
Yeah,
an Aggie
13-0.
fan branded him 13-0, and Longhorns obviously didn't like that, so they added some lines and made it Bevo.
You got to adapt.
Adapt and overcome, guys. Adapt and overcome.
Speaking of that, have you ever heard of the Colorado School of Mines and University of Denver rivalry?
Mm-mm.
So, School of Mines is like a big time engineering school, and obviously they deal with mines and stuff. Well, before their game in like 1913 or something, um, a bunch of people from the School of Mines went to the University of Denver and put like 5 or 10 sticks of dynamite into something around their school or something and blew it up. And so to retaliate, the University of Denver, a bunch of like, frat guys or whatever, this is the early 20th century, so who knows what was going on. They all had bowler hats. And they go to the School of Mines to retaliate, but the School of Mines is expecting them to do that. So when they get there, they kidnap all of the students that like the 10 or 15 or so students from the University of Denver who came to retaliate and their band director. And they used silver nitrate to brand the M onto their hair. And it took like 3 months for it to grow it back out. And so they're like an FCS, they're like FCS schools. But when I read about that rivalry, I was just like blown away that that level of petty would could hold strong, you know?
That level of petty exists outside of the state of Texas.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so NC State versus Maryland. Got to go Wolfpack here. Turtle ain't shit.
Turtle,
Um,
turtle, turtle,
turtle, turtle, turtle, turtle.
turtle.
Um,
Ah!
yeah, Wolfpack here. My granddad went to NC State, so go Wolfpack. UCLA versus
Hell was
Pitt.
that?
That was a howl. But
Was
I didn't want to
that
howl too
oh,
loud because I didn't want my dog to freak out and like come and want to try and get in here and see what's
wait, you
going on.
sounded like a dying dog instead? Jesus,
There you go. Is that better?
you scared the cat.
Now my dog's barking because she heard me. All right. So UCLA versus Pitt. I did a March Madness bracket one time with a friend, and he did the same method I'm doing now, to where he just went through for each mascot who would win. And UCLA, because they're the Bruins, he said they were just a drunken bear. And so that's all I can ever think of now when I think of a Bruin. So I have the Drunken Bears over the Panthers.
Drunk bears. All right.
Drunk Bears. Um, Gamecocks versus Fighting Irish.
So drunk Irishmen
Yeah, I'm
and
going to
Pittsburgh.
Notre Dame here. The Gamecock is arguably the least intimidating mascot. It's like they were ducks and the Chanticleers. Like it just doesn't.
It's a chicken.
Yeah, like you're literally prey for like 99% of
Everything.
things on Earth. Like, okay, and now we have the Bobcats versus the Cowboys. I will take the Cowboys of Wyoming.
Okay. I'm only gonna say that 'cause I want to go to bed. No, just kidding.
Yeah, and I can't believe we've been doing this for an hour already. All right, so Tennessee versus Clemson, the Big Orange Live Bowl. I will take Clemson because Volunteers are a dumb mascot and Tigers are scary.
I volunteer to do it.
Hey, all right, big ones. Michigan versus TCU. Who you
Let's
got?
actually talk about this for a second. Okay. So purple and blue. I like purple better, so I'm gonna go with purple.
Okay.
And I'm
I'm,
actually talking about it, so there.
I'm
Plus, I
going with
really like TCU's quarterback. I really like him.
I'm going with Michigan. I don't know. I kind of like Jim Harbaugh. He's kind of a quirky dude, but I've always liked him. Um, so yeah, going Michigan. Their helmets look cool. Georgia versus Ohio State.
Do we
Hmm.
pick Ohio State just to make people like? No, just kidding.
I mean, I
Just make
picked
people
Ohio
angry.
State. I picked Ohio State. I don't care if I'm wrong. I'm always wrong. So
I'm gonna go Georgia then.
all right, cool. So that would give us Michigan versus Ohio State in the rematch. Who would you pick? Or wait,
No,
who are you picking to win it all? Would you pick Georgia to win it all?
who do I want to win, or who do I pick to win?
See, we have different scenarios here because you would have Georgia versus TCU, and I would have Michigan versus Ohio State. So in your
I want
scenario,
who to win, but I know it'll be Georgia.
all right. And for me, I think that Ohio State gets vengeance and pulls off the rematch and wins the national championship.
And the Dudes
Um,
better shut up because they'll say they won the one that mattered.
yeah, I don't deal with too many Ohio State fans, so I don't really care. They can we'll make that Mitch and Ducati's problem up there in the Rust Belt. All right. So Iowa versus Kentucky. This game is going to be hideous. It's going to be awful. It's going to be ugly. Like I can't believe Kirk Ferentz has not fired Brian Ferentz yet. Nepotism at its finest. I'm going with Iowa here in like one of the ugliest bowl games that I think we'll ever see.
Yes. And yes. And yes.
Bama versus Kansas State. As much as I'd want Kansas State to win, I think Bama pulls it off.
When was the last time you say pulls it off in the same sentence as Bama?
Well, I don't know how many people from Bama's team are actually even going to be playing in this game, so it's kind of
Is Bryce
tricky.
playing still?
I think so. So I mean, like this is going to be Kansas State Super Bowl, and it's going to be like a half of Bama's team, but
A la Georgia and Texas.
kinda, yeah.
And then Kansas State will win and Alabama will say it didn't matter.
Yeah, kind of like Florida and Oklahoma. Like it, not really. I mean, they had their whole team, and we had like all of our starters would opt out. But yeah, that was our excuse too. Is it doesn't even matter. It's a bowl game. Yeah, we got our shit stomped in. Mississippi State versus Illinois.
You got to go with Mississippi State.
Yeah, I gotta go with Mississippi State. Zach Arnett. I think he's gonna get them riled up, ready to go. LSU versus Purdue. Purdue changed their coach. I think LSU's got
What
that one
is
pretty
Purdue?
easily.
Boilermaker.
Yeah,
The Boilermaker and the Tigers. What is the Boilermaker?
pretty sure it's literally a person that makes boilers for like heating. It's like an
So
engineering
Tigers, got
thing.
it.
And then
Is
USC
Purdue-
versus Tulane.
Oh, please let Tulane win this game. I love Tulane. Their uniforms, their like logos are so cool.
Yeah, I'll definitely be rooting for Tulane here. I don't know if they win, but I'll definitely be rooting for them. And then finally, the Rose Bowl game. I'm going Utah just so that Florida can get a transitive Pac-12 and Rose Bowl championship.
A&M has a transitive win over Texas. That's all that matters.
That's all that matters. All right, well, that wraps it up for us.
Woo!
Next week, I will have my friend on. We're going to do some Deion Sanders talk, do some HBCU talk, get some eyeballs and get that talked about a little bit. I think he has some good insight on not just what Deion Sanders, that whole situation, but also HBCU at large, which, I'm going to be honest, I don't really follow it. It's always, I'm a fake FAMU Rattler fan just because they're the closest school to me and I like their colors and their logo. But yeah, gonna have a good show next week. Hopefully everybody can tune in. And you have a good night, Shelby.
Good night, friends.
Bye bye.